Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noah, and you are listening to the Monday Morning Quarterbacks. Today, I'm here with.
Still joined with Mark. Today we were going to bring to you guys a little bit of special content. Noah and I are going to participate in a mock draft. It's usually for some of us fantasy football fiends. It's about that time to start prepping for next year. I don't think you can ever do enough mock drafts, in my opinion. So we were going to do some over the course of the summer, and we just wanted to share some of that with you guys.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's gonna sound crazy. I feel like a drug addict. I'm hitting my arm because I don't have fantasy in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes from full out to not having anything. So
Yeah, well,
definitely.
let's be honest. We had we had the NBA finals. We had a pretty crazy NHL Stanley Cup finals,
Mhm.
and now I feel like we're just kind of in a hole until August because what are we gonna do? Watch baseball? To be honest.
Yeah, baseball only gets exciting till the very end. But yeah,
Sorry to all you baseball fans out there.
that'll be a good clip right there.
Yeah, for sure. But just to share with you guys a little bit. So I know we've mentioned this on some of our previous episodes, but Noah and I are in a friendly fantasy football league. However, I feel like it gets super competitive every year. Would you agree, Noah?
Oh yeah. Even though it's for bragging rights, like you said, it's just for fun. It definitely you know when you're playing against someone you know, which we all know each other, you kind of you aren't friends with them for that day or for that week.
For sure. For sure. And my wife is also in the league, and for that week we are a divided household. So it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, so, so what we wanted to do, we wanted to, like I said, do a couple of mock drafts. So what we have set up here is we have set up a trial for our league. In the upcoming year, there's 10-person PPR league, two flex positions, no tight end premium, no super flex, five bench spots. And so Noah and I have this set up. Going into next year, I have the second overall pick because I was trash last year. And Noah has the eighth overall pick. So he finished the league in third place last year. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. We'll set the scene, and I'll go ahead and kick off this draft.
Alrighty, let's see. Let's see if this works how we want it to.
Yeah.
It's like,
Alrighty. So, what we're gonna do here is
oh,
we're gonna look at team number one being on the clock, and gonna let them
oh, it
do
starts in
their
10 seconds. Okay, top
pick.
right. Top right. You see that? It says starts. Mock draft
Oh,
starts
yep,
in. Okay.
yep. So some of these picks will fly, and we fly through, and we'll kind of slow down a little bit. So there goes
Okay.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's surprised, right? You've got Christian McCaffrey coming first off the board there. So for me, I think here, I think the choice is pretty straightforward for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take CD Lamb with number two.
Whoa! It just jumped a lot of picks. Okay.
Yeah, so we can fill everything in while you're kind of thinking. No, I'll try to narrate a little bit. So I picked CD Lamb at the 102. 103 went Tyreek Hill. 104 Jamar Chase. 105 Amon-Ra St. Brown. Excuse me. 106 Justin Jefferson. And then 107 Brees Hall. So we kind of had a run here on those top wide receivers in the class,
And I'm
Noah.
honestly surprised that Chase went fourth because if I'm not mistaken, you took Chase last year around the top 5 picks, and he did.
Last year. Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
he did not. He did not perform like
Did
a.
not well. I think the argument could be made if it was him that didn't perform or Joe Burrow due to his injuries. But yeah, I think your point is still well taken.
Yeah. And as much as like, man, this is really cool how it says like, 91% of experts agree with taking
Yeah.
this player. I know in our last episode we talked about, or 2 episodes ago, we talked about the running backs, like zero running back. And
Hmm.
while I agreed with you on everything, I think I might go against exactly what we talked about because I think with the new head coach, I think this is going to be a perfect pick. You ready?
Yeah. I think I know exactly where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Yes, so at the 108, Noah did end up taking Bijan Robinson. What was your? I know you gave us a little bit of insight, but or was there anything else that went into the pick, or just you liked the new head coach, or what are your thoughts there?
Well, like, oh man, I can't believe Tyrod Taylor was taken first pick at second round.
Tyrod? Oh, you mean Jonathan
Jonathan,
Taylor?
Jonathan, yeah, sorry. I don't know. I think I
I
said
like
that last time.
Tyrod.
Sorry, yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Kind of surprising there, in my
Mhm.
opinion. I didn't think he was up that high, but maybe with him not missing those 4 games, I guess that's why they have
True.
him up there. When I was
Yeah.
looking at the picks, I think it showed to have AJ Brown, Wilson, and Nakua, and I
Mhm.
just while I do think that those are going to be good players,
Yeah.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be that good this year. I think they're going to make the playoffs, but when it comes to points that they put up, I don't know. Something's just itching in the back of my ear that something's going to happen to Jalen Hurts, like an off year, and maybe Brown is affected by that off year. But that's just my
Okay.
tickle
So
tickle in my ear.
little lower on those people then. So yeah, so immediately after Noah with the Bijan pick, we had AJ Brown go at 109, Garrett Wilson at the 110, and then Jonathan Taylor at the 201, Puka Nakua taken at 202. So now we've got Noah back on the clock here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous of your draft position here, just because I feel like there's so many good players in the draft. You get a good opportunity here to kind of double dip
Yeah,
um,
and like it's
at this turn.
saying I should take Jamar Gibbs, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
two running backs.
That's true. Yeah. Are you going with the two running back build? The ones that are showing here on my list as well. I see on my end Jameer Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams, and potentially Sam Laporta as well.
Yeah, and Laporta I can kind of get behind. I was looking at Justin Tucker just to maybe secure those top points, but I don't know. Like, do I just mess up the whole draft in general? I mean, these are computers, so they won't freak out on us. I was thinking about taking a quarterback, maybe, but no. I think you know what? I think I would do this in real life instead of taking Devonte Adams, who I don't know who their quarterback is this year. Is it a
Mhm.
rookie?
I think
Um,
I think the hope is that they're going to go with Gardner Minshew, but it's between him and Aiden O'Connell.
okay, I think I'll go with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, the Marvin Harrison Jr. pick all the way up
Yeah,
to 203. Um, So immediately after the Marvin Harrison Jr. pick, which there's a little, I think there's a little spice behind taking him that early.
I think so.
You had Jameer Gibbs at the 204, Barkley with 205, Pittman, Drake London, and Chris Olave round out 06, oh 07, and 08, which puts me back on the clock here at 209. And honestly, in any of the mock drafts, this is kind of where kind of where I'm living. Do I take sort of this is kind of my thought process? Do I take sort of that kind of lower end tier one, tier two receiver in Devonte Adams? You've got Travis Etienne, who's probably the top of the next tier of running backs, right? Jameer Gibbs, I think, kind of rounds out that first tier.
Hmm.
Um, and then obviously you've got like the quarterback and tight end. It's just for me personally, it's a little too early to take a quarterback for my liking, so I'm going to steer away from that. Um, in terms of running backs, available to me, I would have Travis Etienne, Kyron Williams, Pacheco, White. I think this is shaping up to be a pretty nice couple of receivers that I could take here. I think my choice, honestly, is pretty easy here. I think I'm going to go with Devonte Adams.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So my thought process here is, I mean, Devonte Adams is going to have all of the volume, all the receptions in Vegas, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I know that they just drafted. What's the tight end that they just drafted?
Yeah, it was some rookie.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you
Yeah, I
wow.
traded for him in our dynasty league, and then traded
Going
him again.
going to
But
link.
anyways, I know that and I could probably find him real quick, but um, yeah, I know that Brock Bowers, duh, there it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I know that they drafted Brock Bowers, which is great, but I'm not banking on a rookie tight end cutting into Devontae Adams receptions. Plus, there's always the high upside chance that he could get traded to an even better team. So I think Devontae Adams just has a lot of upside there.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. After Devontae Adams, we had DJ Moore, Kyron Williams taken by the team with the first overall pick. So there's kind of that turn, and now things come back to me at the turn. So so again, where we're at, there's a few good options here. Um, I have I can really shape my draft however I want it to go from here, and I kind of like this power. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, so, a couple of questions here, a couple of things for thought. Do I dive in to the quarterback pool early? I could take one of the first quarterbacks off the board.
hmm
I could start to round out my team with a running back. Here kind of the suggested would be ETN or even Devon Achan. Achan's kind of slipped, if you will, to me. Normally he's been going, it looks like ADP of 26. So, or I guess he hasn't quite slipped yet. He's just right around the time here where he gets taken. Still a lot of great wide receivers on the board too. I could go Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle, who we've discussed. I think he's going to have a down year. Mike Evans, who I think will go kind of crazy. I think my pick though might shock you a little bit.
Okay. Okay, LaForda. No, the way that you were kind of saying, like you maybe you didn't
Uh-huh.
want to go for a quarterback too soon, and then
Yeah.
maybe you didn't want to go with some of the running backs that were available or the receivers, which
Yeah.
I do agree. Although I don't remember seeing Josh Jacobs on one of the recommended, but
He was not. That's a
he
good. Yeah.
was
That's
taken.
yeah.
That's crazy. Etienne was like the best quote unquote player available, and he was taken
hmm
last in pick 7.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so
Ayuk.
just to round those out real quick while you're thinking, no, we had 303 was Devon Achan, Ayuk went at 04, Josh Jacobs at the 305, Nico Collins at 306, and then Travis Etienne at the 307. So, in my mind, it was really just a preference thing. Travis Etienne, I think, would have been a solid pick, but I think I ended up getting a premium tight end in Sam Laporta. I think he's going to be the number one tight end this year, so I just felt a little bit more comfortable in him than maybe a little bit of the uncertainty that comes with, especially Achan, right?
Yeah.
I think he could have a crazy year. I could also see him being injured, so just two on the fence. So I went with a comfortability pick.
Right. I don't think this is going to be very surprising at all. I think he's going to put up great numbers again.
hmm
Um,
I think I know where you're going. If I had to guess, I have my money on somebody.
really? Okay.
So especially with the comments you just made.
Yeah. Um, you know what? I think we're going to do it.
Oh, that was okay. That was not who my money was on at all,
I
actually.
was on him or Lamar, and the reason why I didn't take Lamar is only because of Derrick Henry. Him getting
Mm,
the ball is gonna like. I feel like Lamar would be more last year to run the ball when they're in the red zone.
hmm
Why
Yep.
they're just okay. Now we're just gonna give it to one of the best running backs in the league. I mean, who wouldn't do that?
Yeah. Let's recap also. So with that pick at the 308, Noah did take the first quarterback off the board in Patrick Mahomes. 309, Derrick Henry, who Noah was just alluding to, went, and then Jalen Waddle at the 310. Pacheco at the 401, James Cook at the 402. So now we are kind of back, and Noah, right now we're going into the fourth round. How do you feel like your build is shaping out?
It's just kind of all over the place. I'll be honest with you. I
hmm
got a quarterback, got a running back, got a receiver. I
Okay.
think I'm going to sort of get that connection. I did this last year in our fantasy. I think I just gave my pick away, but I think last year me taking Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs
hmm
really won me a couple games last year
hmm
in our fantasy game. Also,
There's no way you're gonna take who I think you're alluding to again.
I do think week one, just give a little context. Week one, I won fantasy by like a point because of the Cowboys defense scoring 40. Anyways, I think I'm gonna finish this off with get a connection here. If it'll load.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I honestly, I think that's a very solid pick for you. For some reason,
Yeah.
my brain went the Xavier Worthy pick. That's where I thought you were going with it. I was gonna say, there's no way you reach that much. I think Travis Kelce is a solid pick there.
Yeah.
I think you're solid. Like to be very honest with you, I think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce could win you weeks on their own.
Yeah.
So I think that's a solid pick. Josh Allen went at the 404. Rashad White at the 405, Mixon at the 406, Mike Evans at the 407, and Lamar Jackson at the 408. So here's kind of where what this is shaping up to look like. And I just kind of give you a little bit of insight. Noah, you might have a little bit of insider information for our draft when it comes around, but I feel like that's okay. So with my draft position, right where I'm at, I think the reason I've been leaning into that 0 RB build right now is just because of my position. Here's the players that I basically have choices of, right? In the wide receiver tiers right now that I could take, I've got Deebo Samuel, who personally low on, I don't really want him. DK Metcalf, who I don't mind. Cooper Kupp, who I also don't mind. Devontae Smith, who I'm pretty low on. I really don't want Devontae Smith. Suggested another wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. So this tier of wide receivers to me is kind of your last in that top tier of desirable receivers, in my opinion. Right? We're starting to get into the wide receiver twos on a lot of teams. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of the RBs that are available to me, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker III, Aaron Jones, and Ramondre Stevenson. Personally, the only one of that group I would be comfortable with would be Kenneth Walker, but his ADP isn't until the 70s,
Really?
and I'm
Not
and I'm
Kamara?
sitting here. No, I think with the age and the Saints being not so great, I could see him having some pretty good weeks. I just wouldn't trust him to hold up. Or more specifically, there's some running backs that are going later that I like just as much as him. I guess I should say. I just don't like picking Kamara this early. I think is where I'm at.
Okay, that's fair.
So now what I've noticed here, since you kind of took that early swing on Mahomes, right? With Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson going, really there's only one quarterback left that I could take early that I feel like has a clear advantage over everybody else. And that's going to be Jalen Hurts. So I think that's where I have to go with it. It pains me to do this as a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I just can't risk that tier drop off. I think CJ Stroud is going to be solid. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be solid. But I think there's a clear tier down between them.
Wow, do you see that? So Deebo Samuel and then Malik Neighbors was taken.
I love the Malik Neighbors pick. Personally, at least I like it, but I'm glad they made this a little bit easier for me because I think there's a clear pick to be made here, and I mean I don't know why I wouldn't want DK Metcalf at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
As my flex position, DK Metcalf, the number one undisputed alpha in that offense. Touchdown machine. Yeah, give him to me as my flex receiver. I'll take it all day.
Well, I don't think now looking at who I have available, if I look at my roster, I do have a running back, Robinson, and running backs are kind of terrible in my opinion right now. Like the suggested ones, Aaron Jones, I don't think he's going to be very good. Although he won't be splitting, and then Stevenson, I think we talked about in 2 podcasts ago about how Zeke actually had a better fantasy year than him in points, and that's all that really matters. James Conner is always one of those players that I think is underappreciated.
For sure.
But no, I think with the trade, I think Stephon Diggs is going to go crazy with CJ Stroud.
Interesting. So let's, and I know that you guys can see it on the screen, but let's bring everybody up to speed. So we had the Alvin Kamara pick at 503, Ken Walker the third at 504, Anthony Richardson at the 505, Devontae Smith 506, Cooper Cup 507, Noah with the Stephon Diggs pick. And I think this is interesting because you and I are completely opposite on Stephon Diggs. Um, if I'm being honest with you, there's two offenses that I'm staying away from the receivers. If I can avoid it, I really don't want any part of the Houston Texans. Just because I think they have so many receivers that how many of them are going to be fantasy relevant. So that scares me, and I think the Bears are very similar.
Okay, just so many.
Yeah, just too many mouths to feed.
Okay,
Um,
that's fair.
I'm kind of sad here because I see David Montgomery went at the 509. He's a pretty good target of mine. He went super early. Mark Andrews went at the 510. There goes Mondre Stevenson Ramondre at the 601. 602 Zay Flowers. I'm glad he did not make it back to me because I was not picking him anyways.
I don't know. I'm looking now, and I'm kind of deer in headlights because I don't want to take a running back because anything that I see is
Mhm.
just not. It's not turning me on at all.
Right,
I mean,
right.
nothing. I mean, maybe DeAndre Swift, like maybe, but even kind of what you're saying about staying away from the Chicago offense. I kind of understand that because
I'm pretty sure they have like 3 running backs in that backfield.
we also have 3 receivers, so
Hmm.
that makes me kind of
Hmm.
want to say from Keenan Allen.
Yep.
And then like Coop's up here. I'm so sad that we traded him away for a bag of half-eaten Doritos.
Agreed.
I mean, it's just that injury. It's always up there. But
With his age,
yeah,
definitely.
I
Yeah.
just for the time being, I think I will just take Amari.
Okay, and I think honestly, for me, Amari Cooper would have been my pick there too. He's just solid. You know what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah.
Consistent. George Pickens at the 604. I'm super low on Pickens, by the way. So,
Yeah. Do they have? Oh yeah, no, they do. Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
yeah, yeah. Trey McBride at the 605, Aaron Jones 606, CJ Stroud at the 607, and Tank Dell. That's the one guy in that Houston offense that I would have considered taking. Went at the 608. So things come back to me, and I will let you know. Now is the time whenever I'm starting to look to my running back room. Um, I do think that there are some positives left on the board in terms of receivers. There's definitely some receivers here that I like. Um, I would, and I'm kind of having to suggest a player build out kind of a list for me. I don't think I would have too much of a problem taking Keenan Allen.
Mhm.
I do want to stay away from the Chicago offense, but he's fallen so far that getting Keenan Allen in the 7th round as my 4th wide receiver, I don't think that's a terrible pick. Christian Kirk, I do think Christian Kirk is going to go insane this year because I don't think there's any other receivers in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
I also really like the Chris Godwin pick. Chris Godwin moving back to the slot this year. They brought Baker Mayfield back. I think he could do really well. Um, but since I have options, I think this is the time for me to start to kind of solidify my running backs.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so where I'm going with this, and you brought him up earlier, I think I got to go with All Reliable himself. We're gonna go with James Conner here.
Mhm. I think that's a good pick because oh, sorry. I just got an ad. That's weird. Um I James Conner, I don't think I had him. I have him on my dynasty league now. And he's just a running back that for whatever reason has always just put up numbers and has not gotten the respect. Like
Yeah,
consistent, like not running back 1
100%.
numbers, but definitely running back 2 are a good flex.
Yeah,
And I don't know, people don't really see him that way, or maybe they do, and I'm just ignorant in fantasy ways. But I think that was a good pick.
yeah. Um, no, I appreciate that. I like that. I will let you know there's some running backs that I am okay targeting later as well. The next ones in these tiers are DeAndre Swift and Zamir White. If he makes it back to me, I would definitely be okay taking Zamir White at some point. But honestly, with Kirk and Godwin still on the board, I mean, Kirk's ADP is 40, right? And we're in the 7th round.
Mhm.
I gotta click the button on him.
Yeah. Najee Harris being taken, DeAndre Swift, T. Higgins, Jay Williams. Who is that?
Javonte Williams. Javonte
Javonte
Williams.
Williams. I don't know who that guy is. And
The
Scary
Broncos running
Terry.
back. Scary Terry.
Tony Pollard. I'm not taking that. I'm trying to keep this PG or PG-13, and that would have definitely got us out of that. Put us in the rated R version right there.
Yeah, it's okay. We have a little bit of animosity for him having a terrible year last year for the Cowboys.
Barely broke 1,000 yards. Wow, I actually didn't realize. I think I might take another receiver here, even though I know I don't need one. I need a running back of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Tony Pollard, no way in hell I'm taking that.
No.
That running back you were talking about, Zamir White,
Yep.
that kind of intrigues me a little bit. But and then Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
But that guy is like father time
30,
himself.
32. Yep. 32
I
this year.
think I'm going to take, and the Tennessee Titans, I just gave it away, but the Tennessee Titans are probably not going to be very good this year.
But this is a great pick if this is who you're going with.
I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, 100%. Great pick. I mean, think about it at this late in the draft, right? Was at the end of the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
In the 7th round, you were still able to get a team's #1 receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's your what? The 3rd wide receiver, 4th wide receiver?
My 3rd.
Yeah.
I'm no, fourth. Sorry.
4th. Yeah, you got him as your 4th wide receiver. You took a flyer on him. I think it's an excellent pick. After Calvin Ridley, Dak Prescott at the 709. There goes Tony Pollard at the 710. Joe Burrow at the 801, and then Deontay Johnson at the 802.
Who the hell is that?
He is the Carolina Panthers #1 receiver. I think he came over from Pittsburgh.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna take. I think I'm gonna take Zamir White. I know you said if he falls back, so you're gonna take him, but looking at who's on the board and looking at what I have,
yep,
I think it almost just makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree. That's where I would go for the most part. So Zamir White goes to Noah. Hollywood Brown at the 804. Kyler Murray at the 805. Roma Dunze 806. Chubb at the 807. And Rashee Rice at the 808. So, I think you can kind of start to see here, at least I would hope, where this 0 RB has came into play. If I'm loading these wide receivers, let me just list some of these off and tell me what your thoughts are.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Godwin, I would be okay drafting him. In fact, I'll let you know he's probably going to be my pick.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed, no thank you.
No.
DeAndre Hopkins is interesting, but probably not. Again, he's interesting. Jordan Addison, great season. He did a lot of that damage with JJ out, so I just don't. With a rookie quarterback, I'm kind of staying away from Addison. Jackson Smith and Jigba, no thank you. Tyler Lockett, no thank you. Cortland Sutton, definitely not.
Oh, you don't like Nick Jigba?
No. I mean, he was. What is that? They have a guy on their team named Bobo that was playing for him last year when he was healthy, and this dude named Bobo would play instead of Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, no, thank you.
Okay,
I'll stay away from him.
I thought Jackson was good. I guess.
So a lot of people are very high on him. I am not one of those people.
Oh, he only had one good week, and that was week 7.
Yeah. But if I take Chris Godwin, now we look over at the running backs. Running backs, we've got Jaylen Warren, Raheem Mostert, who, to your point, I mean, he was running back almost #1 last year, right?
Yeah, running back 3. That's what it says.
Yeah. Zach Moss is here, so there's starting to be some running backs emerge in these next tiers that I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the button on Godwin. So this was another one. Dang, that was really who I would have liked to take.
Jonathan
actually.
Brooks.
Yep. 810, the Jordan Love pick. 901, Jonathan Brooks. So, anyways, so here I think we start to we really start to see kind of where these running backs are coming in. I need a second running back to round out my build. Um, I don't think there's a whole lot of hope that he stays healthy for a whole season, but if he can give me anything close to like he did last year, give me Raheem Mostert as my running back two.
Okay. Oh wow, that's so tough. Oh, the seventh pick was Eckler. I was gonna take him.
Mm, yeah, Jalen Warren at the 903, Watson at the 904, Moss with 905, Tajay Spears at 906, and then there's that Austin Eckler, right? You got sniped even by the computer, man.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wee wow. Well,
Hmm.
wow. I don't think one receiver has been taken this entire round. That's kind of crazy.
Just Watson at the with the fourth pick.
Yeah, and it does suck because I have a Tennessee guy, don't I? Yeah, I
Yep.
do, Calvin Ridley. I know you said you want to stay away from Reed and Green Bay's offense, but is he their receiver one? Or is he the
No,
receiver
I believe
two?
Watson is their wide receiver one.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jaden Reed will probably end up being their wide receiver two.
2, 3,
He just doesn't
4.
play enough.
I would have 5 receivers at that point.
Yeah.
You know what? I think sometimes you just got to take a pick that you might not agree with anything that happens in life,
Hmm.
but he's just always been there for you, and you just got to be there for him.
I don't think you're doing what I think you're doing. Did you do it? Look, yeah, he did it. He did it. He took the Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, Zeke's gonna be nowhere near what he was 4 years ago, but my little delusional cowboy brain might think so. So
So you got
I'm
Zeke at the 908, D Hop with the 909, Jaden Reed 910, Xavier Worthy, man, he almost made it back to you at the
yeah,
1001. Devin Singletary at the 1002, and now Noah is back on the clock.
and I actually am surprised this guy wasn't taken earlier. But I think I gotta take. Oh, there's 2 picks that I really want to take, and I can only make one. But I think
So who you between?
Kincaid and Pitts.
Going back to the tight end. Well,
Yeah, because I think Pitts is gonna finally have a good year with a mediocre quarterback.
hmm
I think he's had sorry, an average quarterback. I think he's had mediocre quarterbacks at best throwing to him. So
hmm
finally having a average quarterback will be, is going to be perfect for him.
right.
So
But let's be honest. Are you gonna take Pitts over Kincaid
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, having
when
a
when the
yeah,
Bills don't have anybody?
exactly.
I
So
mean, Kincaid's gonna be their number one receiver, right?
yeah, I think so, and I don't even think it's close.
Yeah. Oof, my targeted guy did not make it back to me. So Kincaid with the 1003, Brian Robinson Jr. with the 1004, Jerome Ford 1005, Jordan Addison 06, Keon Coleman 07, Mike Williams at the 1008.
Who are you looking
So
for?
I really like that Brian Robinson Jr. pick.
From
I
Washington.
you want
Okay.
you targeted Eckler. I'm targeting him. He did a great job last year. I think he's gonna be their main guy for running the football. So, but yeah. So now we come here. We're kind of in a tough spot. So if I'm looking at my roster right now, I have the James Conner, Raheem Mostert battery to hold down my running back position. I think I'm set on receivers. I'm not a big fan on any of these receivers that are left. There might be some dart throws I take. I do notice Lad McConkey is here. Jameson Williams for Detroit is here, so I don't mind taking a shot on those.
Mhm.
Um, but James Conner and Raheem Mostert are not the picture of health. So I definitely need to start to get some running backs here that are going to be worth something. Um, in terms of some of the rankings that are left, a lot of these guys are not, they're not going to inspire a whole bunch of confidence in us. So you've got Gus the Bus Edwards for the Chargers, who not terrible. He is 29 years old. Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown could be a solid pick. Really, the question is, it comes down to him or Zach Moss, right? So don't hate it. I think I think that has to be my pick if I'm being honest with you. Um, I'm going with the Chase Brown pick here.
Alrighty. Oh, and Kyle Pitts taken right before you.
Hmm. Yeah. So we had Charbonnet taken, and then Kyle Pitts, as Noah said right before me. So this kind of spits back around to me. I'm still in the same dilemma, right? I need more. Truthfully, I need more running backs. At the same time, you know what? None of these guys are going to instill confidence in me, so I got to take a pick to throw a dart, and we're going with Lad McConkey here.
Okay, okay.
Potential to be Justin Herbert's number one target in the 11th round. We'll take a dart throw at it.
Well, I'm gonna take one hell of a dart throw. I should have done this earlier just to secure the points. Although now that I'm looking, I'm certainly unsure of what. Actually, no, I'm not because they're gonna score a lot with the offense that they have. So I think I gotta do it.
Oh boy, oh boy! In the 11th round, the first kicker off the board. So recap the picks before that. We had Jackson Smith and Jigba at the 03. 1104 was Jaleel McLaughlin, which I always like that pick, just not that early. Courtland Sutton, 1105. Lockett at the 1106. Curtis Samuel at the 07. There goes Justin Tucker, the 1108. We have Brian Thomas Jr. for Jacksonville at 1109. Trey Benson at 1110. George Kittle at the 1201, and Jake Ferguson at 1202.
Good old Ferg.
Good old
Wow.
Fergie Ferg.
Well, I really don't like Gus Edwards, but I almost have to take him now. He's kind of just a player that is just there, and I kind of need a running back, like just some bench players.
Yeah.
So I think we got to go with that.
Yep, I think that's a good pick. So now I have to start to be mindful here, right? We have the in the 13th, 14th, and 15th round. So for me, my needs, I still need a defense. I still need a kicker. So I'll have I'll have a bench position that I need to fill out as well. And none of these guys are super great. I think what I'm gonna have to do, and I don't think I'm gonna go backup quarterback or backup tight end. I think I'm going to take Blake Corum here as a running back. This is just purely, going to have a lot of upside for me if something does end up happening to Kyron Williams. So I do have that running back, and then now I think it's time
Fucking
to start
Rico
looking.
Dowdle. Jeez.
Rico Dowdle.
Oh.
It's crazy that Zeke went as early as he did, but Dowdle went that low, considering Dowdle might lead the you know what I'm saying? He might lead the backfield this year.
Yeah.
In terms of defense, I think I have to go ahead and get my defense here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Where were they ranked at?
They were ranked number 1 last year. They were 3rd on the list of recommended. So
Okay.
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I was looking at defense as well, and I don't think the Ravens are gonna be the number 1, but they're showing to be number 1.
Yep.
I do like the Browns. I mean, I feel like the Browns have all for the past 3 years they're just have been building a dynasty on defense.
Fair.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Okay. Then it comes back around to you for your last pick on your team.
We got one more.
Yeah, are we going to the 16th round?
15th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're coming up on 14. Sorry.
This is I think with the weapons that he has, I think this will be a good backup QB.
I'm trying to catch up to you. So you took your Brock Purdy. I think it's a great backup QB. A lot of defenses off the board. I will need a kicker. So why not return the top kicker from last year? in Brandon Aubrey, and then now we kind of just get to take some shots here. So I could take my backup quarterback if I wanted. I don't really have a problem if I need to go to the waiver wire to get a quarterback. I think running back has to be. I still need running back, so I'm going with the Jalen Wright pick in Miami.
Okay, okay. Well, last pick for me. A little bit surprised on really what I want to do. I have a backup tight end, I think. No, I don't have a backup tight end, but nobody's here that I really want. Although Cole Kmet, probably
He
not
had a great year last year.
well, he had a great year, but like we were saying about, there's just so many options on offense there.
It's true.
Ray Davis. Who the hell is this guy? Is he a rookie? I think so.
Ray Davis, Buffalo running back. Yep,
Yeah.
no clue.
I don't know. I like his hat. I think I might take him.
Because of the hat.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that.
All right.
Hey, what'd you score out of?
Yeah, so my draft grade was an A-. I got a 91 out of 100.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Where were you at?
I got a C-.
C-.
71 out of 100.
Oh man, so I'm gonna click on projected standings.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Let's see where it would have us. So projected standings. It had me at 2nd and you at 9th.
This does not know what it's talking about.
So here's what I want to do. I think we should go through some of these insights real quick, and we could maybe even look at what the top team would have. So what this is ranking as the number 1 team.
Where'd you go to that?
So I just clicked on Team 7.
Team 7. That's weird. It won't let me. I'm clicking on it and it's not doing anything.
So actually, if you just go to the draft board, see where it says draft board.
Draft board. No.
It should say like summary, expert opinions.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Draft board.
So Team 7 is the team that would be projected to win the league. Let's kind of go through their team real quick. So Team 7, they went 3 running backs early. Team 7 went Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Travis Etienne, and then Josh Allen. Wow. Talk about a running back heavy team. They have probably, I would say by far, the best running backs in this league. That's crazy. Josh Allen, so they're going to be ranked as having Breece Hall, one of the top running backs, Josh Allen as the top quarterback. Their receivers are Cooper Kupp, George Pickens, Terry McLaurin, Hollywood Brown. They got Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson Jr., Curtis Samuel, T-Hawk. Here's the problem. They have T-Hawk. T-Hawk's probably not going to play the first part of the year.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's coming off of a injury.
Oh, it says he's healthy.
I believe. I'm pretty sure he had a season-ending surgery last year. He had tore his ACL in December, the end of December. So, so they're gonna have to do something about that tight end position. The running backs on this team would be crazy. On the flip side, I feel like their receivers are trash.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Josh Allen is ranked number 1 right now, and he's gonna be for a while. But when he has nothing to throw to, and he might, who knows, interceptions might be a problem for him.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be a good year, and I don't think I would take him in any draft of mine. True, I think I like how I picked Mahomes over him. I think I would do that over again. Truthfully.
Right.
I think I'd even take Lamar Jackson over Allen.
Yeah, that's interesting. I do think I do think Josh Allen is going to put up a boatload of points. I do think that with that comes the potential for injury, interceptions, fumbles, right? I think that's all going to be built in as well. So I would be interested about your draft insight. So I'll go through and read mine if you could read yours. If you go back to that summary tab, should be right under your grade.
Where the hell did I go? Where did I just click? You said what?
Your summary tab.
Summary. So I see where I'm the last. Starters bench. I don't know. Where do you see?
Where? Wait, where? Where are you at?
The boys trial, 71 out of 100, C
Uh-huh.
minus. Summary.
Summary. Yeah. Okay. You see where it says draft insights at the bottom right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So for mine, it says top players. I drafted 5 players ranked in the top 3 at their position. I got CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Hurts, Sam Laporta, Cowboys defense, and Brandon Aubrey. So I have a top receiver, top quarterback, top tight end, top defense, top kicker. Those are my top players. My what if says, what if you drafted Alvin Kamara at 5.2? So if I would have drafted him at 5.2 and drafted a wide receiver later, my score would have been 88 points higher. So that would have been quite a bit higher actually. But at the 5.2, who did I get at the 5.2? The 5.2, I got DK Metcalf. I don't know. I'm happy with the DK Metcalf pick instead of Kamara. Apparently, I might have some issues in buys, mainly because I have 3 Cowboys, right? I have CeeDee Lamb, Dallas Cowboys defense, and Brandon Aubrey as my kicker. So, that's kind of to be expected. My reaches, I have 2 reaches. I drafted Chase Brown in the 10th round, which is 2 rounds earlier than he's ranked. And I drafted Blake Corum in the 12th, which is 3 rounds earlier than he's ranked. Yeah, so those were kind of my insights. What were yours?
So top players, you drafted 4 players ranked in the top 3 of their positions: Bijan, Kelsey, Mahomes, and Justin Tucker.
Okay.
And then it says, what if? It said if you drafted Jahmyr Gibbs at 2.3 and drafted a receiver later, your score would have been 107 points higher.
Whoa, 107?
Yeah.
Dude, 107 points higher would have put you at 4th or close to 4th.
Yeah, but I don't remember who I took. I took a receiver, but
At which one? At the 2? At your second pick?
Yeah, 2.3.
Yeah, so your second pick at 2.3 was Marvin Harrison Jr.
Which I guess that's fair, but kind of going back on the whole running back, that's a running back heavy team, which I guess that's what I
True.
have in my dynasty league. Actually, I have Robinson and Gibbs.
Mm-hmm. True.
And it says bye. I have 2 of them actually. Week 10, Amari Cooper, White, and the Browns, Zamir Browns, Zamir White. I don't know, Zamir White.
Zamir White,
And then the Browns defense in week 12, Bijan, Dalton Kincaid, and Ray Davis, which Ray Davis was a bench player anyways.
Yeah.
And then it says stack them up. Stack them up.
Okay.
You'll be cheering for Kansas City with your Mahomes and Kelsey stack, which obviously
good stack.
My steals, I had 2 of them. Dalton Kincaid in round 2, so 2 rounds later than he ranked, and Brock Purdy in the 14th, 6 rounds later than he's ranked.
Okay. Yeah.
I had 2 reaches. Ezekiel, I drafted him in the 9th, and he should have been taken 3 rounds
later.
And then this one's just bogus. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Justin Tucker taken in the 11th, 7 rounds earlier, but
you took that brother way too early.
I don't see it.
Oh man. Yeah, so those were my again, I kind of had something similar as well. If you were to look at your position ranks, what are your lowest ones? Because I feel like we're gonna have kind of some pretty high ones up there.
Yeah, well, my overall is 9th, starters is 7th, my bench is 8th, quarterback is 3rd, running back is 7th. Receiver
running back 7th, even with Bijan, huh?
Yeah. Receivers 9th.
Dang.
Tight end is 2nd. My flex is 9th, and my defense is 5th.
Interesting.
Kicker is first, obviously.
Yeah. So my overall is 2nd. My starters are 1st. My bench is 10th. My QB is 2nd. My running back is 10th. Wide receivers and tight end are 1st. Flex is 7th. Defense is 3rd, and kicker is 2nd.
Okay.
So I think it's definitely interesting. So I think mine was definitely like a more traditional 0 RB build. Which explains why my running backs are the worst in the league and my bench is pretty bad because my bench is me just taking shots at at running backs, right? So yeah, definitely, definitely have some great upside at wide receiver and tight end on my team. But the running backs, it's all about who's going to pan out for running backs. I feel like that's the hard part about being at that second pick, right? I mean, you can't not select CD Lamb when he's staring you in the face.
Right.
But then what comes back to you is, it's not going to be any of the top running backs, right? It's not going to be a McCaffrey, a Bijan, a Gibbs, um, or a Brees Hall, right?
Hmm.
So
Well, I think this was fun. And I
yeah,
think if it gets a lot more views and maybe closer to the actual before we do our draft, maybe we could even stream our draft if that's even possible. I don't know where that
yeah,
stands. But if it maybe closer to the actual like training camp and even after training camp, because we like to draft like a week before the actual season starts, so no, we don't get any injuries or anything like that. Maybe before or after training camp and maybe week 1 of preseason, we could do 2 more just to see if things are different. Maybe we have different strategies, stuff like that.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it would be I think it'd be worth it. And I think it would be fun. Hopefully, you guys get to see a little bit of our insight and us trying to not only explain what we were thinking, but also understand some of the strategies and where those tiers of players start to shift. I think you could really see in this draft how the running backs and the receivers kind of fall off a cliff. To be honest,
Yeah.
they get really bad. The receivers are kind of all, I'm sorry, the running backs are all kind of mixed in terms of ones you might be okay with. Like you could live with them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.